The financial roots of American servitude, historical and legal insights. The IRS, international agencies, and foreign tax obligations. Many Americans remain unaware that a portion of their tax payments is funneled to the British Crown through the Internal Revenue Service, IRS. Contrary to popular belief, the IRS is not a federal agency of the United States government. Instead, it operates under the authority of the International Monetary Fund, IMF, which is a subsidiary of the United Nations. Furthermore, no legislation has ever been lawfully enacted to authorize the imposition of an income tax. The standard IRS 1040 form, often assumed to be a domestic filing requirement, actually serves as a mechanism for the payment of a foreign tax, ultimately benefiting the British monarchy. This financial obligation is rooted in the Treaty of 1783, which marked the end of the American Revolutionary War, and continued America's financial subordination to the British Crown. Every American taxpayer is tracked through an individual master file, which designates each person as liable for taxes due to the United Kingdom. This liability is maintained through treaties and financial arrangements established between the United States and the United Kingdom. Notably, before 1991, the Business Master File, referenced in IRS Document 6209, classified such obligations under U.S. U.K. tax claims. The designation of non-refiled DLN, document locator number, further implies that all taxpayers are treated as commercial entities engaged in business transactions. The Virginia Company, the corporate foundation of the United States. In 1604, the Virginia Company was chartered by King James I of England to establish colonial settlements in North America. This enterprise laid the foundation for the territorial and financial framework of what would later become the United States. As the principal shareholder, the British monarch maintained substantial control over the company's operations and holdings. The Virginia Company retained ownership rights to significant portions of American land and resources. These included 50% of all gold and silver extracted from the land, a share in other natural resources, and 5% of profits from all other commercial activities. The lands were not granted outright to colonists, rather, they were leased under a deed of trust. This legal arrangement prohibited actual ownership by the colonists. They could only transfer the perpetual use of the land, not ownership, to their descendants or others. The company was divided into two branches: the Virginia Company of London and the Virginia Company of Plymouth, each with jurisdiction over different territories. While the Plymouth branch ultimately failed to fulfill its charter, it laid the groundwork for the later establishment of Plymouth, Massachusetts, in 1620. The London branch was dissolved in 1624, and its holdings were converted into the Royal Colony of Virginia. Financing the American Revolution, a British endeavor. A lesser-known aspect of the American Revolutionary War is that both sides of the conflict were financed by the British Crown. In 1773, the United States entered into agreements that obligated it to repay loans issued by Britain to fund the war effort. As outlined in the Articles of Confederation, all debts incurred prior to the formal assembly of the United States were acknowledged as national obligations, binding the government and its people to repayment under public faith. Following the war, the Commonwealth of Virginia emerged from its status as a royal colony to become one of the original 13 states of the newly formed United States. Nevertheless, its previous affiliations endured. The slogan "The Old Dominion" reflects Virginia's historical loyalty to the Crown. The original territory of Virginia was later divided to create several new states, including West Virginia, Kentucky, Indiana, and Illinois, as well as parts of Ohio. However, legal ownership of these lands remained, in principle, with the British Crown. These historical arrangements raise critical questions about national sovereignty, property rights, and the enduring financial ties between the United States and foreign powers. As such, they invite deeper examination into the true nature of American citizenship, governance, and economic independence.